Hello everyone, and welcome to Fleet Plays Rule the Waves 3 as the Netherlands. Unfortunately, we are no longer the traditional Netherlands, we are now the Dutch Rijk, which is a little disconcerting. I tried to oppose the coup and nearly lost my job, and I'm still on the verge of losing my job if this war goes badly. It might be a very short stream if we can't beat the Russians thoroughly. But we'll see what we can do. So very quickly, let me just make sure that everything is as it should be. Here we go. Marvelous. Excellent. Fantastic. All that good stuff. So yes, war with Soviet Russia. That is where we are. We fought our first battle in the last days of the previous week's stream, and that did not go so well. We lost a pair of capital ships, and yeah, that really did not go as well as it could have done. Yeah, there could have been very, very much of a problem had we not succeeded. But we did succeed to fail. I mean, most of the fleet got away when we managed to torpedo some things with our carriers. But whether that counts as success, I honestly don't know. So, without further ado, let me just remove... Oop, no, that's Fire Flash. Hide that, and let's get cracking. So. Where were we? So we actually do have the Soviets blockaded. Their fleet in Northern Europe is strong, but I think our submarine strength is working in our favour. Our fleet of submarines is actually the largest in Europe, twice the size of everyone else's, and is contributing to our blockade strength. Which is and also our trade is very well protected. We have nothing building right now in terms of surface capital assets, but we are building additional submarines to join our fleet and commence unrestricted submarine warfare against the Russians. There is a force consisting of some of our older cruisers and the old battle cruiser Van Galen, along with some of our older refitted destroyers serving in Northeast Asia. Although, to be fair, there's very little there that the Russians can really do to stop us. They only have one carrier. Oh, I may actually be able to invade Shanghai, which would be good if we could pull it off, because we actually have superiority to Russia in the Far East, with us having a battle cruiser, two light cruisers, and 12 destroyers, whereas the Russians only have a single light carrier. The problem is the majority of the Russian fleet is trapped in the Baltic, and now cannot leave the Baltic because it is blockaded. We're using the same trick on Russia that was used on us when we were Russia. So, the shoe is this time on the other foot. Now, we have the Tsukuba, which is being sent off to raid commerce. And she's operating in Northern Europe, raiding Russian commerce. Then we have the two battle cruisers that we built. And then, of course, we've got the 8 modern cruisers that we constructed. The 8 modern light cruisers that we managed to construct, which gradually step up in displacement and capability as you go on. We've got 3 carriers. All of them, most of them fairly... 2 of them fairly capable, 1 less capable, one of our older battleships, and a light carrier, which is actually fairly not capable. Our oldest destroyers are operating in Northeast Asia, as I said. Some of our old 800-tonners are doing trade protection, and all of our modern destroyers are with the fleet. If I can actually manage to get enough money, we'll do a program of war builds. But let's see what happens. Okay, we've intercepted a Russian raider running the blockade. So Eindhoven is... Oh, it's one of our most powerful light cruisers. The one with 12 16-inch guns. Basically a Dutch Cleveland. And she's backed up by one of her half-sisters. This could be fairly interesting. Unknown radar contact. Okay, increased speed to 33 knots. Let's go get him. What is it? It's an armored cruiser. Oh, no, it's not. It's a Slava class. Oh, ho, 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 ho. She's a diminutive. And she's up against a pair of full-size light cruisers. That is really not... You really don't want to be there. That is just not where you want to be. Oh, that is... Oh, that's a paddling. That's a paddling. Oh. Oh my god. Eindhoven just moving in for the kill. Yep, there we go. One Russian light cruiser destroyed for no loss. Prestige gained. Job no longer at risk. Marvellous. Invasion of Shanghai not possible due to the blockade? What? How are we blockaded now? So they can move troops, so the AI can move ships out of the Baltic when it's Russia, but we can't when we're Russia. So it's one rule for the AI and one rule for the player. That's just... Tony, we're playing as the Netherlands, remember? Because now they're blockading us. Okay. Shouldn't be too hard to break the blockade. And our submarines are going to town on their commerce. Carrier battle. Okay. That could be a fairly even fight. Well, closer than the Russians would perhaps like it to be. Yep, that is literally just a full-on carrier fight. Okay, so... what do we know? So the Russian force is ahead of us. Two-phase search, we want the maximum amount of cap we can actually get, and we want a night search. I will keep the distance at about 300, but they're not going to be operating that close to the British Isles, I wouldn't think. So let's send up our scout aircraft, and let's see what we can find. See if our scouts find anything. We don't want to... Okay. That will be coastal... yeah, that'll be coastal merchant traffic. There's no point launching a strike against that. But we've not spotted any aircraft. Okay. Search aircraft are coming back in. There go our other search aircraft. Oh, hang on. Oh, where's this happened? Enemy cap attack one of our aircraft. Do we have that? Which one? Which one? Which one? One of our aircraft has been attacked by enemy cap. But I don't know which one. Okay, let me... Yeah, let me get a... Light jet fighters ready. No, I want you on naval strike, please. Thank you. Get me a torpedo bomber ready. And also warm up the torpedo bombers on thing you just get. Just get them ready to go. Get a strike ready to go so that if we... Okay, which one of the aircraft went silent? Which one of them is no longer alive? Because that should tell us... Oh, they found us before we found them. Or is that just a scout? Nope, that's a naval strike package. Where's our cap? We're supposed to have a massive cap over the fleet. Ah, they've launched missiles at us. Okay. Oh, good lord. Missile hits. Fire started on one of them. Drenth is also on fire. Why can't our scout aircraft find them? Hang on. There. We actually finally have information. Can we launch the strike? Because if so, I want the strike in the air. Target enemy carriers. Well, Drenthi can't launch her strike. But Kota Barrow can. Yes. Yes, I do. Get that force flying. Yep, then get me another strike going off after them. Carrier Division 6. Get me all of the torpedo bombers you have available, and you will also launch a strike. We've got better firefighting techniques, so we should be able to manage the fires on the ships. As long as our strike package gets away, we should be able to deliver a blow to them that is equal to the one they deliver to us. Okay, yes. What does the report say? Where would they be now? No, I'm happy to keep that strike going where it is. That's the last information we had on where they were. Okay, Kota Barrow has extinguished her fires. Drenthi is bringing her fires under control. Very good, lads. Good damage control. Well done, well done. Good job, my boys. Good job. Very, very good. You love to see it. Fantastic. Damage control on the Netherlands carriers. First rate. Are we still orange Pavon? Drent. Not Drent. Her. Okay, Drent. Drenter. No, we'll keep the targeted strike where it is, because that's the only information we had on their carriers was the information that we got from our scouts. So let me just very quickly check my... So from what I understand, their carrier fleet must be somewhere in that area. So let's narrow the search pattern and bring in the search so we can actually do more searching with our search aircraft. Oh! Here we go. Oh, that's Africa being attacked. Oh, yes! Beautiful! Jet fighters coming in. Oh, wait, they weren't even our jet fighters. They were our piston engine fighters. Nice. Unfortunately, we've launched more missiles launched at Drenthe. Oh, that's gonna sting. We don't have anti-ship missiles launched from our carrier-based aircraft yet. Oh, she's dodging. She's dodging. She's dodging. Yes, good girl. You missed us all. Oh god, our strike aircraft didn't find anything. So our strike aircraft didn't find anything. Well, on the plus side, the munitions weren't wasted, so thank heaven for that. Oh, never mind! Our aircraft did find something. Okay, this is good. Oh, yes, there we go. Torpedo bombs. Nice, nice. Our aircraft are damaged but not shot down. This is good. This is good. Okay, torpedo bombs. Yep, torpedoes away. This is good. We managed to get the torpedoes away without actually getting too much damage to ourselves. Oh, that strike did not go well. Oh. That strike was... Oh, that was horribly brutal. Okay, but we do at least have the location of the enemy fleet now. We know exactly where it is. We didn't get any hits on it, but then again, they've not had many hits on us. Do we have any aircraft for a strike? We do. Okay. So we know where they are. We know where they're going. Let's get a strike package in the air for a follow-up. Yep. Heavy loads, please, people. Let's do it. It annoys me that we didn't manage to get any torpedo hits. They must have dodged and weaved like absolute mad to avoid them. Oh, never mind. Dive bombs away. Oh, no bomb hits. That's annoying. Okay, so that would be... Okay, so that must have been them doing the avoidance, but they're still continuing northwards. Okay, so we want to be not where they are. Oh, okay. More of our aircraft are coming in. Yes, I want to adjust my strike. So what's the most up-to-date information? They were going that way, but it's probably more likely that they're heading northeast now. What I would suspect. Okay. More torpedoes released by our aircraft. Very good. Another torpedo salvo from our aircraft. Oh, no impacts, though. We've both got such heavy cap up that breaking through each other's screens is proving difficult. And neither side's gotten lucky yet. Need to wait for my aircraft to be recycled so I can figure out what I'm going to do with the strike packages we have. Okay, we can actually do another strike, so let's get that going. I'm waiting to recover a lot of our aircraft on Carrier Division 4. Yes, I will adjust. Let's see what the latest reports say. Yep, okay, so they're going to be somewhere over here. That's fine. You have to... Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Here comes trouble. Yep, here comes trouble. Yep, that's... Oh, okay. Whoa! Okay, very nice. Very nice. Okay, we are shooting down the enemy strike as it comes in. This is very, very good. Very good. You love to see it. Of course, the Tromp and the Gerhard Kallenberg are putting up a massive barrage from their anti-aircraft guns in their role as fast carrier escorts. Yeah, we're punching well above our weight here in the Dutch Navy. Just got back from booze shopping. What did I miss? Not much. We're actually having our first full carrier battle, and it's actually a fairly even fight. Our cap is actually doing a sterling job of defending our carriers now. Now that the Russians have run out of missiles, they're having to come in traditionally with traditional loads, and our light jets, because of the sheer level of cap that we have up, is just chewing up the incoming strikes. Although some do get through. Oh no, never mind, that's us! They hit a destroyer. Guys, you weren't supposed to hit a destroyer. 3 enemy medium bombers, skip bomb, torpedo, skip bomb, Königville. Medium bombers? Medium bombers? Oh boy, that's not good. Oh, they missed. They just completely missed. Okay. And now our cap's jumping their aircraft. The important thing is we're preserving our pilots, which is good. There we go. Let's try and... So, there's one of our strike packages going out. Oh, hey up. Africa's aircraft have found something. This is good. Okay, two torpedo bombers managed to get their torpedoes away. No luck though. Ah well. Well, we can only keep trying. Eventually both sides are going to run out of munitions, and at that point it's closed down to action range. And I know the Russians actually... Well, the Russians don't have any surface-based missiles yet, but their battle cruisers are much superior to ours. Ours were designed as cruiser killers, and as the cheapest possible battle cruisers we could get. They are also very good at the anti-aircraft role. Now that we're fascists, we may have more money available for the Navy, so I'll have to see what I can come up with. I didn't want to be fascist. Have the pilots earned their keep today? Honestly, yes, I would argue they absolutely have. Oh boy, here come 3 torpedo bombers. They're going to be in for a world of hurt. Where's the cap? Oh, the cap's not where it should be. Oh boy. Oh, no, never mind. The cap. Oh boy, yep, the cap has just casually jumped the poor Beryevs and have just casually annihilated them. 1 torpedo got into the water, but I'm fairly certain the Africa will be able to avoid that. She's the smallest, but one of the nippiest in terms of turning circle of the carriers we possess. Yep, there we go. She's fine. She's fine. So so we have our aircraft coming in. Oh, that's more enemy aircraft. Again, our aircraft. Their aircraft are attacking ours. Torpedo bombers coming in. Dodge. Dodge. Okay, our aircraft have found their ships again. This is just very back and forth. It's not... They got some missile hits on us, but it wasn't enough to render us combat ineffective. 2 of our dive bombers dive-bombed one of their CVLs and didn't hit a sausage. Our torpedo bombers are hitting them. They didn't hit a sausage either. We just can't... Yeah, we just can't really hit them. Possibly not a new... the 10,000 ton limit were part of the Versailles Treaty, because it was 10,000 tons was the maximum size ship the Germans could build. Period. And that was to replace their pre-dreadnoughts. Okay, now that we've recycled everything, let's see, what are the latest reports? So there's a report at 9:49 that says they're going that way. That was 2 hours ago. The most up-to-date reports say that they're probably heading northeast. What have we got in terms of strike assets? Okay, so we do still have enough assets to form a strike. Which is good. Let me just set the strike angle to there. So again, your targets are enemy carriers. We don't really have too much from the light carrier, but we can launch 3 light jets as an escort to try and get them through the... Oh. And again, the Russians showed up with a single formation of aircraft and got jumped by our jet fighters. And again, I think this is what's happening for both fleets. Neither side is hitting the other with enough capability to actually break through the cap. And then when they get through the cap, the AA breaks up the strike to such a degree that it's not doing anything. That would be my guesstimate. Again, yep, here they come. Torpedoes are away, but again, we've managed to damage some of their aircraft. Yeah, okay, again, gets jumped by all the Dutch fighter aircraft. This is why maximal cap matters. It keeps our aircraft safe. Yep, here we go. Or it keeps our ships safe. Yep, here comes, this is a land-based strike from... land-based aircraft, which the Russians have access to, given that we're operating in their turf. But because of how far away we are from Russian land-based air cover, they're not able to actually hit us with anything more than some of their most long-range maritime patrol assets. Oh, they've launched missiles. Wow, that's the first missile attack we've had for a while. And it didn't do anything. And we just got rid of them with our aircraft. Yep. Do we have any... We could launch another set of naval strike light jet fighters. Which could work. That should be possible. There we go. Okay, enemy aircraft are approaching our carrier division. Okay, they've tried to torpedo one of our destroyers, which was, sure. You know, don't torpedo. Oh. Hey, she avoided the torpedoes. Well done. Well done indeed. Jolly good. And again, we're shooting down. Okay, yes, I will adjust. Where did the what was the most up-to-date reports we had? So there's reports of ships there. There's reports. Okay, so refine our estimates to somewhere over there. Oh, hang on. If I'm not mistaken, are our aircraft coming home? No, they're not. So those two strike assets might just find the enemy force, if we're lucky. Nope, well, they found us. Ah, they've fired rockets at us. That's no good. Didn't really seem to do much, though. Well, what they're doing by attacking our carriers is they're really attriting their aircraft numbers. You can see it in the smaller and smaller amounts of aircraft coming each strike wave. They are really losing aircraft here. I'm basically trying to disengage from the battle, to be honest. Because, to be honest with you, it's quite clear that neither side really possesses the ability to decisively break through the other's screen of fighters. So even if a 15,000-ton destroyers running around with a 10,000-ton on the docks that we've seen is adequate. No, Knight, the Germans are being given enough stuff to replace their pre-dreadnoughts with coast defense ships or cruisers up to 10,000 tons. That's it. That is the limit. It doesn't matter what Washington is. That'll be the limit. But again, this isn't ramblings. I'm not here to answer questions. We're here to talk about Rule the Waves. Like, if you want to comment about Rule the Waves and what's going on, fantastic, brilliant. But again, like, we're not... There we go. Okay. Okay, we've managed to survive the battle, just about. And I'm fairly confident we can end this battle. Yep, no friendly ships are at risk. Yep. Well, okay, good news. We managed to sink a Russian destroyer. They damaged some carriers, so they technically win. How many aircraft did they lose? They lost 23, we lost 26. Oh wow, we literally had an equal amount of aircraft. Although we had about an equivalent of light jet, we're actually equal in jet fighters. They had more fighters, and we actually had more dive bombers than they did. Wow, that was a really even fight. That was shockingly even. Actually, what were we up against? Against the Baku, which is a bigger carrier. And the light carrier Intel. That explains a lot. We were up against two carriers, but one of them was a full-size 28,000-ton carrier. Yeah, that was a even trade, roughly. Neither side lost. No, we're not doing that badly. Okay, yeah, this is... See, this is why we're building coastal submarines now. one every month to replace war losses. And we're spending a lot of money, 4,000, building new submarines. What we need to consider is some form of war emergency light carrier. Something reasonably capable, but doesn't take too long to construct. 27 knots is fine, because again it only has to keep up with our current carriers. Be slightly faster than them. Okay, so 3 is the radar limit, and that's fine. Drop one of the light AA guns. 3-inch is probably fine for AA. Probably don't need too much belt armor. But that's probably fine. 20 months to build, 2,000 cost, mostly okay. Actually, let me have a look. Armed merchant cruisers. Can I get a... pair of decently sized liners in for conversion? Because if I can, it'll take less time, because 4 plus 12 is 18. It'll take less time overall and cost less than building a it's one of those things. I mean, there's always the option for... I could always build escort carriers. That could help. But it won't help the problem of the Russians blockading me. The problem is things like the Marat class they're building and their Kirov class battle cruisers. They also have a large force of armoured cruisers. Their light cruisers are not too concerning, but some of them will probably be a little bit threatening if we run into them in a dark alleyway. But they do have some smaller diminutives that we can deal with fairly easily. They have the Kazan class, which is a very weird carrier. And then the Tikvin and the Baku. The Baku we've already met in battle before. There's Yike class carriers, which are very small. The Itil, which we've already met in battle. The Chelyabinsk, which we haven't seen yet. And the Donetsk class, which they're clearly building during the war. And they've been building either just prior to the war and during the war. Well, let's see what happens. Oh, Russian ship intercepts Dutch raider Ishikari in Northern Europe. Okay. If it's not a battlecruiser, then the battlecruiser that we bought from the Japanese is going to thrash whatever intercepts her. Please let it be. Okay, ramp up to 26 knots. Let's go see what it is. Oh, it's an armoured cruiser. Oh, no, it's... Oh, my God, they sent a light cruiser after our raiding battle cruiser. That's adorable. You sent a light cruiser to try and stop the single largest capital unit in the Dutch Navy, which is currently commerce raiding. That is adorable. It's the reason why this thing is commerce raiding in the North Atlantic. It's an outside context problem for you. Oh, we got a lucky hit on your engines. That's adorable. Come here and die, please. A turn to unmask all the guns so we can hammer hits into her harder. Yep, there we go. Yep, that's it. Good night, Vienna. A few more rounds. There we go. Boom. No damage to our ship. Other one's basically sunk. Scratch one up for the good guys. Yes. Okay. Okay, that's heavy submarine losses. Why are armoured cruisers thwarting attacks by a full-size battle cruiser? Well, okay, now we need to think... I really need some sort of cheap... Well, I probably want a new class of... We're not taking much destroyer losses. What we really need is some form of light carrier. Can we get anything cheaper than that? Well, that's bigger, but that's a full... Although, that being said... If we get rid of the aft turrets... We'll drop the speed down to about 24 knots. Focus the engines for speed. Drop the belt armor way down. The deck way down. What are we carrying in terms of aircraft? 60. I'd be happy to accept 40 aircraft. Can we bring that down below the displacement cost for a light carrier? I can actually get this carrier down to 14,000 tons. No, she's a light carrier. At least 4 aircraft, no more than 34 aircraft. Okay, so if we have 34 aircraft, we can then armor the flight deck. And it's the Drac! It's the Drac! Yeah, that'll do. I can still probably afford to put one into production. And then obviously we'll bring the rest in. Battleship engagement. The problem is, I know exactly how that ends. With my ship sinking. Oh. No. For 285 VP, I'm not gonna risk it. Oh. Okay. Well, let's see the army try and do something. Oh, a new medium bomber type. Excellent. Oh, very nice. Okay, now we're inflicting losses on the submarine. We've sunk a Russian merchant ship. Very good. I probably want to ramp up intelligence operations against the Russians, since we are at war with them. Oh, they have just commissioned Sovietsky Soyuz. So I dread to think what she looks like. Oh, convoy attack. They can't do anything about it. Cruiser action. They have light carriers, but they have no escorts for them. Oh, wow, we just casually won because they can't do anything about our forces in the area. Oh boy. Okay, another good torpedo bomber design. This is good. So we've lost some submarines. What do you mean? She's operating in Northern Europe. How could she have been interned? How could she have had a lack of fuel? She's operating in Northern Europe. She could have simply just returned to Dutch ports to resupply. That makes no sense. This game sometimes frustrates me. Cruiser action. I really don't like... I really don't like that. Oh, some battleships. No, I'm not going to risk that. Small engagement in the Pacific. That's probably one they're going to have to decline, isn't it? Estimate enemy forces. 1 battleship, 1 battlecruiser. Okay, let's see what actually happens. Apparently we're here to bombard things. But it was also a small engagement. But we don't have any... Unknown radar contact. Okay, what are you? Bring it right down. If it's something terrible, I want the ability to withdraw at a moment's notice. It's slow, whatever it is. What are you? What on earth are you? Torpedo away. Oh, we missed. What on earth are you? Some form of corvette, I think. I don't know what on earth you are. We're hitting you quite heavily. It was the Moskva class. Corvette. Oh, good lord, that thing's a tough cookie. Pity we didn't hit with a torpedo. Well, down one destroyer, I suppose. Okay, see what the enemy will offer, but we should not accept ceding any land or colonial territory. Oh! Compromise peace. Okay, so that was fairly short in terms of wars. Well, we don't need the Drac anymore. Princess Royals need to be back in Northern Europe. And the forces that were in Northeast Asia need to come home as well to be mothballed. Same thing with the older destroyers. And then we need to consider the future. How are we doing for missiles? We have guided bombs now. That's good for our abilities. Thank God our leader didn't declare total war, that's all I'll say. Okay. As I expected, our fighters did most of the work. Light AA was actually fairly effective. We shot down 24 enemy aircraft during the war. Yes. Yes, I will actually let them do that. Waiting for our aircraft to return home. Okay, one of our ships has returned for internment. She's now going to be mothballed immediately. Yeah, I know. I know. Oh, early service-to-air missile mounts, eh? Well, that's very good. Again, mothball our older ships. Mothball Van Galen. And the only capital ships that should be in active service are the Trumps. The only carrier I'm keeping in active... The only two carriers I'm keeping unmothballed are the Kotobaro and the Drenthur. Because those two carriers are large, full-size units that are capable of carrying a decent number of aircraft. All of our old 800 tonners are going into mothballs, and when the other destroyers arrive, the same will happen to them. There is something to consider, though, which is that apparently we got early surface-to-air missile mounts. Heavy ship. So we may actually be able to get away with missile arming up our battle cruisers to make up for what they lack in gun firepower with missile firepower, and they can actually afford to fit them as well. That will make them very, very, very useful. That should do. There we go. And that rebuild actually won't cost that much to do. I can actually take both of the battle cruisers in for the same rebuild, basically. Improve the radar limit. Add all the missile launchers we can. Although Trump is smaller, so she might have some difficulties doing it. We can drop the guns down to 6 auto-loading 3-inch. That will buy us a little bit of time. And drop the AA directors down a bit. I'm not going to land the rear turret yet, because she's only 32 tons overweight after the rebuild, so that should be alright. And again, the cost isn't that much to bolt missile launchers to our... how the hell did a destroyer lose to a corvette? Simple, it was an old destroyer. Raptor out, honestly, coming across any cruiser in a dark alleyway would be scary. Like a Grizzly and a Tesco's, they're not supposed to be there. You got a point there. I'm not going to refit our older gun cruisers into missile cruisers because they don't have the displacement for it and they're needed as gun cruisers. What I will do is design a new cruiser based on the largest of our gun cruisers. And this absolutely will. It'll only have 3-inch guns, but they'll be auto loaders. And she will carry the 2 missile tubes behind her front armament. And I'm also going to drop the aft superimposed 6-inch gun to try and push for an insanely high top speed of 35 knots, along with slightly thicker armor. And the Amersfoort class. And why not make the 6-inch guns dual purpose? Oh, never mind, we can't do that. Fantastic. 35 knots for our new class of missile cruisers. And that's more submarines coming into service. Oh, good. A new medium bomber. Ooh, the Shell. That's a fantastic bit of kit you've got there. Very nice. Okay. There we go. Radar-directed gunnery. This is good. Ley light increases ASW aircraft effectiveness, even better. Good. A new type of our fighter, which is very good indeed. We're going to build some of these. Let's see, how much is it going to cost to construct these new cruisers? Oh, I can actually get 4 of them. Oh no, I can't. I can get 3 though, probably. Yeah, I can get 3. That's good. Which means I can actually retire the older... Oh, nice! 8-inch autoloaders. I may actually build a class of heavy cruisers. Just take advantage of that. Why would I build you over any of you? So you can carry torpedoes. No, that doesn't really work for me. So our destroyers can't carry... Actually, can our destroyers carry missiles? Wow, the fascist government choosing to reduce armament spending. There's something you don't see every day, folks. Princess Royales are now in quite a bad way. Van Galen should be in mothballs as well. It's fine. Only one of our bigger destroyers survives. Can we actually enable these to carry missiles? Oh my god, we can. We actually can do that. Okay. So we can have missile destroyers. Gentlemen, the Great Reset is here, and the Dutch Navy is leading the way. Yes, I can just casually build a new class of destroyers that... and arm them with 8 3-inch auto-loading guns. And just casually annihilate literally everything in my path. This is going to be funny, but worth it! Cruisers have missiles. Destroyers have missiles. Yeah, build a highway system. If you're going to be a fascist government that I don't like, then at least do something to help bulk up the navy so that when you're eventually overthrown, I won't lose my navy. There we go. So our 2 guided missile battle cruisers have entered the fleet. This is all very nice. Ah, excellent. An improved dive bomber. Now I can carry 1,000-pound bombs. Very nice, very nice. How up the belt to 3 inches? Up the belt to 3 inches on what, Montana? On what? Honestly, I think it's time to consider the Princess Royale's obsolete. 23 knots is just not enough speed now. Van Galen. Problem with Van Galen is there's no real use case for her. If we convert her to a carrier, is it going to be worthwhile? That will be fairly cost effective, but it gives only 37 aircraft. Even with a machinery replacement, that's really, for the cost involved, you could build a new carrier that could get more aircraft on it than that. What could her guns be rebuilt into? She could carry 16-inch guns, land the midships turret. If we land the midships turret, increase the gun caliber to 16 inches in new turrets, upgrade her machinery. Oh, and she can't carry missile launchers. Well, in that case, then there's no point. She can't carry missile launchers, then there's no point doing it. Although, no, there's no point. It's not worth doing. The Urks are staying in service until we get their replacements in. It won't be for a while yet. Zvol is being kept. So Macias. So Zvol, I am going to rebuild her into a AA cruiser. So she's going to have. Can I add guns? I can. Okay, that is excellent. Yes. Small class refit. There must be something that this ship can be turned into. Give me a minute, gents. I'll be right back. While I am away for a couple of minutes dealing with something important, what should we refit this ship into? She's a very unique, diminutive-like cruiser that we built to bulk up the numbers in the 30s. But now I can't really see a role for her in the fleet without a rebuild. What should she be rebuilt into, and why? Please make your case in the YouTube chat, and when I get back, I'll review what the cases for rebuilds should be, or alternatively, the cases for mothballing or scrapping her. Back in a couple of minutes. said anything. Well, we shall soon find out. Swing. There we are. Good. Right. Marvellous. Right. Okie dokie. So, what have people said about Zvol? Convoy escort or light carrier. How's the fleet's AA cover? The fleet's AA cover is pretty good. Don't know why your message got deleted. I don't know either, Montana. She's too small to be turned into a light carrier. 4,100 tons. I don't know if you could actually do it. Can we actually do it? We could make her a... No, we couldn't make her a seaplane carrier. Convoy escort? Honestly, as a convoy escort, the only thing I'll really change is I'll let her engines degrade and I'll just make her secondaries 3-inch auto-loaders. Honestly, yeah. Actually, no. If she's just going to be a convoy escort, I'm just going to put her in mothballs and leave her as is. There we go. Right. Okay. Yeah, I know. Dockyards are closing down. Back our ally unconditionally. I need the money. There you go, an improved fighter. Probably this will be the last generation of our piston engine fighter. I will criticize China. As always, as we know, gentlemen, blame China for everything. China is always at fault because they are weak. They have one battleship left, and she's an old dreadnought from the 1930s. Still soldering on into the present day. They've got a bunch of modern large cruisers, but I question their utility. They have very little to escort them. They have one seaplane tender. Yeah, China's in a bad way. Spain's not much better. They have a pair of decently sized capital ships, one battleship, one battlecruiser, and then two very modern monsters that they've somehow managed to build or buy. A fleet of large cruisers backed up by some cruisers including AA cruisers. A single carrier, large carrier, and a bunch of light carriers. But again, their fleet isn't as well balanced as ours is. They don't have our light cruisers. They don't have our full carriers. There seems to have been a tranche of 8 17-inch gun-armed ships around the world. Okay, so the Russians built those things, which are horrifying to be... Oh my goodness, that's the largest and most powerful battleship in the world. I'm glad she wasn't around during the war. The French have a bunch of 30-knot capital ships. Great Britain has nothing with a gun over 16 inches. Okay. Does it give me prestige? It does. Okay. I will take the tension being lowered and I'll take the prestige going up. I need to halt construction on one of our cruisers. Of course. Oh yeah, because I've got a destroyer design worked up and ready. That's right. Yeah, I do have a destroyer design worked up and ready. The new missile destroyers. No. I'm not buying anything. I need my money. No thank you, Germany. Like I said, again, I need the money to do what I need to do. I was just waiting for... He won, you say? Wasn't that army colonel a favourite? I think I'll let it go this time. Thrashing the army is always okay, so now what we need to do is we need to lay down 13 of our new destroyers. And then we halt our cruisers to make sure we have the budget to pass the review the next month. There we go. No thank you, not buying any new things. So we resume construction on our capital ships. We halt construction on most of our destroyers, and we plow onwards. Yes, buy the company, produce the best rangefinders in the world. Halt construction of the longest lead cruiser. Oh, come on, really? What sort of fascist nation are we if we... Okay, so early air-to-surface missiles. Okay, surface-to-surface missile mounts. That's something, at least. 30 knots, 32 aircraft. No thank you. I couldn't afford it anyway. Even if they offer it for sale, I can't afford it. Oh, hello! And yes, she can carry, and these aircraft can now carry missiles. This is excellent. Okay, now we can afford to resume construction on the third of our 3 missile cruisers. Ah, yes, finally, the fascist government... Okay, we can build half that many cruisers for you, sir. Must have 5 CL building. Okay, so... Again, same thing, so we can just halt construction on those. Okay, the leader is allocating more funding to the Navy. Yes, I will. So, range and bomb load, please, for our new naval patrol aircraft. Okay, the leader is really stepping up the funding regimen for the Navy, which, you know what, I'm honestly fine with. Okay. Build half that many destroyers for you, sir. So now he wants 19 destroyers. Okay, alright then. So that means we need another 6 destroyers. Another 6 destroyers. I mean, where am I supposed to find the budget? Okay, so the 3 Karma voted to remove the budget, and the leader said, "Nope, nope. The Navy keeps its funding." I'm just waiting for the event about the... Okay, so now we need to add the... So we need another 6 destroyers, which we will resume construction of those. Halt that. I need 1 more destroyer. There we go. There we go. And now we can actually pass the review next month. Okay, 2 new destroyers. Very nice. Now we go back to the standard program, which is 2 destroyers building. So 2 cruisers building. And 4 destroyers building. So with the 3 Amersfoort class now in service, I can afford to finally retire the Uruks from foreign station duty. And they'll be replaced by the Massalius and the Zavol, which are ideal for it, because they're older ships, but they're faster in one case, and the other is cheaper to run. And that leaves our fleet of active ready cruisers entirely modern. Pity the Amersfoorts couldn't reach their 35-knot top speed, but that's fine. They have anti-ship missiles, which means I'm actually okay with that. And we're getting even more cruisers as well, which is brilliant. I can put the oldest of our home fleet cruisers into the reserves now. The old... So you've got AS6, ASW. You guys could... So you can go to the breakers, because your ASW figure is rubbish. You can have a warming over to replace your machinery with diesel engines. And get auto-loading and guns and advanced directors, along with some basic depth charge throwers. And carrying radar to basically keep these ships relevant to the fleet in an anti-submarine role, which is what they're currently doing. It's a very cheap replacement, all told. Cheap upgrade, and not very costly. But it will at least mean that, yes, we will support this event, because it will mean that tensions go down and my prestige goes up, which is what we like. Rising prosperity leads to increased personnel costs. Oh, of course it does. No thank you, Britain. I can't afford what you're offering. New naval prototypes. Okay, and you can carry... Excellent. Fantastic. Brilliant. That is what we like. Okay. Really, gentlemen? There we go. Prestige, but crew quality will drop. I honestly, that's fine. Improve air search radar. Halt one of our cruiser. Actually, halt the cruiser program for now. Let's try and get the rebuild destroyer program actually completed. The leader allocates more funding to the Navy. Thank you very much. Yes, I can build. Yeah, I can fit. I could fit 6 coastal boats into the budget. Yeah, I can do that. Bomb and torpedo. Near misses from glide bombing have a chance of being converted to torpedo hits. That's funny. Could always build a replacement losers for the script, then catch it. Fleet, in the nicest way, your Dutch pronunciation is horrible. Yes. My Dutch pronunciation is horrible. I'm British. What were you expecting? Decent pronunciation? That's not how we do things around here. There we go. So, we're just now working on the rebuild programs. Sure. Why not? Oh, we didn't get Libya. Damn it. And I lost 1 prestige. Well, we finished our reconstruction of our destroyers. It's very good. Okay, resume construction on the cruiser program, but halt the 2 that are furthest along to increase the rate at which we're building the oldest one. Yep, submarine program, which is coming along quite nicely. There we go. Thank you. I will accept the praise. No thank you, Germany. I'm fine. More powerful compressed air ejection, which is very nice. More torpedoes for us. Nope, I will take the prestige hit and get more budget. Because that means I can resume construction on one of the other cruisers. And then once we have actually gotten that into service, we get one of the other cruisers built and then resume construction on one of the other destroyers, which is fantastic. Very nice. No thank you. I am fine. I don't need any research from anyone else. I can do it myself, thank you. Okay, we're doing fairly well, actually. We're bringing in a large number of new modern destroyers. Whose 3-inch guns are primarily for self-defense. And their throwaway is their missiles. Again, so we'll put the 1,000 tonners into mothballs and the 800 tonners into the reserves. The 900 tonners that we have that are modern will remain in the fleet for now, but will likely be replaced when viable. So most of our 6-inch cruisers are sticking around. If I had the funding, I'd build a new carrier. Stalker. No thank you. I could take over Cuba, but that probably would lead to a war with the US, which is not a good idea. There we go. Yeah, so the leader does not want the Navy to fall behind. Nope, not buying anything from anywhere else, thank you. VHF radio, very nice. Oh, I can resume construction on another one of the destroyers, this is good. Okay, Great Britain has granted independence. The leader allocates more funding to the Navy. Well, you have to be careful what you say about the leader. Yes, the lives of our pilots are important. There we go. Resume construction on one of the other destroyers. When all this comes out, I should actually have a large fleet of very modern destroyers. The thing that bothers me though is I need a new large carrier. Like my 2 battle cruisers can actually serve as the 20,000 tons of carrier. If we use diesel engines, can we? I suppose 28 knots for a carrier is fine. It doesn't need to be that heavily armoured. 3-inch autoloaders is fine. Radar-directed guns is fine. Deck edge lifts to help boost our capability to cycle aircraft is fine. Can I get an even number of aircraft? Yes, I can. And can I also get... Do we have surface-to-air missiles? Wait, can a carrier carry anti-ship missiles? Yes, a carrier can carry anti-ship missiles. Sorry, Russian doctrine. We ball. We will use the Russian doctrine, gentlemen. And it will work flawlessly. I promise you. Even if all our strike aircraft are kill, our carriers will be... Okay, the US just completed the world's largest battle cruiser. Which is basically a massive... Yep, she's a massive battle cruiser, don't get me wrong, but as we've seen, in the age of the missiles, such ships are basically cannon fodder without Sea-Whiz. I reckon my missile-armed battle cruisers could kill that. There we go. Would you people stop Yeah, we'll join an international squadron to contain the violent... Oh, angled flight deck. Yippee. Can we get a heavy jet strike? Can we get a jet strike aircraft? No, but we can't get a new light jet fighter. So let's get bomb load and range for our new light jet fighter. Ah, excellent. Enables jet-capable aircraft carrier. Well, yes. We have light jets anyway. So, Naga, how much is she going to cost to build? That's not that expensive. I can probably fit 2 of them into the budget once the cruisers are done. That'll come in very handy. Aha! Improved anti-missile jamming. Very nice. 9-inch guns. Very, very nice indeed. Yep, new destroyer coming into the Navy. Use it to embarrass China. There we go. Once we clear Livorno off the slips. Oh, very nice. The immaculate uniforms has been marching show by the crew of CV Drenthe. Your prestige improves. Well, gets that bugger off my back at least for a bit. So the first of the new class of carriers is being laid down, which is very, very good. And then the second one will be paid for on the slips. Ooh, yes! So not only will that give us another full-size carrier, it will give us... Okay, that's good. That's really good. Because Seydlitz is actually fairly capable. So we'll scrap Van Galen, and her name can be given to Seydlitz instead. This is good. I mean, then we've got the 2 new build Nagas coming out, which will give us 2 brand new characters. Yes, please. So yep. So no, we don't. So actually, we won't carry. So get rid of one of the fighter groups. She will only carry light jet fighters. There we go. And that basically gives her... Excellent. Fantastic. No thank you. And then I can get rid... That means I can actually get rid of König Wilhelm III. Yes, who will disband the air groups. And Seydlitz can come into the active fleet. Africa will remain in mothballs, and will probably only be reactivated as a escort carrier for merchant convoys. And in fact, she may be deployed to Northeast Asia in the event of wartime. There we go. Send a gunboat to Africa because I really don't want to end up fighting a war over something in Africa right now. It's not ideal. Well, for one thing, we're actually keeping all of our yards busy for the first time in as long as I can remember. And we're doing so without any risk of actually losing the... budget. We're actually able to build at a decent rate. In fact, I can probably afford to put some money into upgrading the dockyards. Okay, pro-Chinese rebellion. Well, it's time to do what fascist regimes do best. Yep, build a highway system. Let's absolutely send our economy to the moon. Yep. So we'll send Tromp The Drawdeck class cruisers. And some of our older destroyers. To Southeast Asia. And they are going to put down the revolt in Hainan. Yeah, China is agitating, it's causing problems, they are the people we will be at war with. I have no doubt of that fact. Yep, so there we go. More. Keep cycling the destroyer build program through. This is all well and good. Probably worth considering some form of new capital ship as well. Seeing as I actually have the yard space to actually keep building them. Okay. No thank you. Yep. Well, Africa's not really a modern carrier. It doesn't really carry modern aircraft. No thank you, Germany. I don't need what you're selling. Oh, all ships with torpedoes have ASW capability. Well, that changes things. That suddenly sends our anti-submarine capability to the moon. Ah, yes. Full salvo. Oh, the Dutch word for leader is phonetically similar. Oh, I see. Well, there you are then. No thank you, I can't afford that. Yes, let's get ourselves a helicopter. With reliability and range being the things that matter. And of course, our ships can already carry aircraft anyway, so that's not really a problem. In 7 months, we'll know what we can actually build. And then we'll need to decide what we're actually building. Okay, that's the new Russian light cruiser. Yeah, it's got some anti-shipping capability, but not steam catapults. Okay, France and Germany have gone to war with each other. Very interesting. Tensions with the USA are rising. That's a bit concerning. Spain's budget is actually shot ahead of ours, which concerns me a little bit. But we should be able to keep on top of things. Just about. Okay. 30,000 tons. I'm sure I can actually get a carrier of 30,000 tons. Even though we don't have such jet aircraft right now. Oh! Yeah, there is going to be a war with China now. I'm basically committing to it. Yep, deploy the most modern of our cruisers now. Out to Southeast Asia. There's gonna be a war with China, and I am basically gunning for it at this point. I'm keeping our older cruisers in reserve in Europe. Well, older. They're still the first tranche of our modern cruisers that we built in the late 30s. But they are, they're not the modern missile cruisers. And I'm also waiting to see what the new shipyard size is. There we go, explosive shells, improved guidance systems, missile hit rate. Okay, Germany and France are again knocking 7 bells out of each other. But hey, what else is new? No thank you, France. I do not need that. Oh, 5-inch auto-loading guns. That's actually really quite useful. Excellent. New docks completed. International force that stopped them occupying Iceland. Okay, well that's pissed off everybody who doesn't like Russia. Okay. Yep, the Germans and the French are again knocking 7 bells. 26,000 tons is the new size limit for our dockyards. Okay, then. So let me remove the aft gun on these ships. And instead embrace a pair of 4 very powerful 20-inch guns. Problem is... actually, let me see. What would you... Because, again, a battle cruiser is what I want. Okay. That... It's far too large. I can't afford to build ships this big. I might be able to get away with that, though. If you remove the midships gun and drop the caliber down to 13 inches, then I can probably re-add the midships quad. Even that's still too much. No, it's not even immune against its own. Then again, at that point, we're at the stage where armor basically it doesn't mean anything anyway. So, in theory, actually, armor should be boiled down to splinter protection and throw everything into speed. And we've got, and it's carrying plenty of anti-ship missiles, which are its heavy throw weight. Yeah, this ship could actually work. Dual-purpose guns. I don't think we need that many 3-inch guns, do we? No, we don't. There we go. The Van Ghent class. They're a bit more expensive than some of our previous battleships, but battle cruisers, but they are by far the most capable assets we've ever fielded. I think. Oh, we really could have done with the ship not being underpowered. No, thank you. New helicopter prototypes. Ah, excellent. The helicopter can go slightly further. Very nice. Why is the US spoiling for a fight? I don't understand it. Oh my goodness, the Russians have gone up. Yet we're seeing the last generation of big gun capital ships mixed with missiles. There we go. I can probably afford to start building one Van Ghent. I think I've probably got the budget to sustain it. Yes, beating the army has top priority. Yeah! We beat the army in an epic game. Yeah! Oh, China's budget is growing. They've gotten rid of the last of their capital ships and are building carriers. Well, that's a threat. And deny any involvement. Chaff dispensers on our ships. Very good. Very, very good. I blame the Chinese for the fighting in the Balkans. It's always the Chinese. Fleet, anything goes wrong, ever. Blame the Chinese! Okay, Germany is now fighting the US and the French. Why is the US annoyed with me? What have I done? I'm not allied to Germany. Why is the US so determined to fight me? Okay, bring the fleet home to Europe because apparently the US is determined to fight me, which means my fleet needs to be at home so that if the war does come, we're ready. No, thank you. I don't need any new. Okay, new light jet aircraft, which is good. Yes, please. Again, so reliability and range for the jet attack aircraft. Although we will need bigger carriers. No, thank you, Japan. I have no need for that ship. Ah, excellent. Our new light carriers commission, our new carriers commissioned into the fleet. Unfortunately, the carriers that follow them will have to be bigger than they are. 7,000 tons bigger. Yes, please. So again, same principle of flies. Remove one of the fighters. And then replace the fighters with light jet fighters. I said. Thank you. Because while we have overall less aircraft, we still have enough. We're not overloading the carriers then. Right. Oh, radar-guided ship-to-ship missiles. Very nice. Okay. Time for our new carrier. Which will carry... ooh, hang on. Oh, we don't have a... We still don't have enough size dockyards to build the ships we want to build. Still, I need new modern capital ships, so the Van Gents will have to be built now. Yes, I do. So copy from her sister, which is Sphinx, and then paste that into Van Gent. And there we go. So again, new destroyers being constructed, basically finishing off the last of the old destroyer program, and the US is seemingly insistent that we go to war. For some reason I don't fully fathom. President was about to leave office, so he tends to escalate tensions with the Dutch for a war so we had a longer term. Wouldn't it be the weirdest thing to ever happen? At all. There we go. Oh! The US government is anxious to win the next election and reduces naval spending. That probably will bring tensions down, actually. We should not buy what we can develop for ourselves. I mean, that's rule number 1. So I think the last of the 1,000-tonners can go. All of the 900-ton war builds can go into mothballs and into mothballs because they've not been refitted, so they're not as good as ASW as the Krakatoa class is. So they need to stay in reserve, so their crews are slightly better. Whereas these ships are just here to bulk up the numbers. And the new Sicily class destroyers are the bread and butter of the fleet. Although I am actually half tempted to do this. So get rid of the superimposed turret. Decrease the guns in turret to 1. And make the guns auto-loading 5-inch guns. Just, you know, to hammer home the whole You're dead. Just, you know, because we can. Can we actually carry an increased number of missiles on this ship without too much difficulty? Yeah, we probably can, actually. Yes, we can. That's hilarious. Actually, I'm just going to rearrange those missile tubes. They look a little bit... Actually, no. It kind of fits just hanging off the edge of the ship like... It's ah, yes. We hang our missiles off the side of the ship. Okay, so our CVs are finished working up. Okay, the US took Southwest Africa during Jim Crow. Oh, Lord, that's a horrible thought. And tensions with the US came way down. Okay. Now then. Everybody back to China. We're going to bully the Chinese. Because we're going to do it. And this will be insanely funny. So let's go and do it. I want my colonies back. Nope, I am not increasing... Yep, because that's why. No thank you, Britain. There we go. So... what I'm going to do... And this new destroyer is actually cheaper than the... So we're going to scrap the last set of Scyllas. And the new destroyers will be... Mackens, which are actually cheaper than the ships they are replacing. And they'll be built one at a time. Actually, two at a time. If you want peace, arm for war. Spend more on the Navy. That's just the sad truth of the matter. We are at least using 25% of our yards, so our yards won't shut down, which is very, very good. Oh, good. Jet attack prototypes. Marvellous. Fantastic. But I need carriers of 30,000 tons to be able to operate them. It's why I'm building up my yards. No, send him to the army. He's a disciplinarian. Oh, early surface-to-air missiles. Very nice. That is very nice indeed. And the Van Gens can probably get them. We would rather go to war than agree to limitations. Yes, I'm sorry. China, no. You only want limitations because you're going to get your teeth kicked in a war. You know it, I know it, everyone and their mother knows it. That's the only reason you want me to limit my armaments, is because modern crew quarters need to be more spacious to keep up crew quality. Of course. Nope. Demand they release the ship and send a Song squadron to undermine the point. Oh, and the US didn't like that. Why don't you go take a long jump off a short cliff, US? Again, as always, if we have to divert the people's attention, blame China for everything. So again, reliability and range for our heavy jet fighters. This is very important stuff. Don't think China's allied to anybody, are they? Nope. Very good. So if we go to war with China, that'll get the US off our backs. So we've got the two battle cruisers out there that are more than a match for any, because the Chinese don't have any capital ships, so they will be the most powerful units in theatre automatically. The Chinese only have two light cruisers, which are a pair of AA cruisers. They're building a bunch of carriers, and they'll be ready soon. But our carriers are bigger than theirs. And of course we have some of our older carriers in reserve. And Africa will be around to do trade protection work. What else? I think we still have a sizable submarine fleet advantage over them. Oh yeah, still. Absolutely. We still have the largest fleet of submarines in the world. And then, of course, I need to consider what our next generation of carrier will be. Bougainville. Bougainville. No, we're very close to war with the US, and I don't want war with the US, I want war with China. Oh, excellent. New type of helicopter. Marvellous. There we go. So now we've got the Machjan class destroyers being built. New docks completed. Marvellous. And we have mirror landing aids. So our new carrier will be incredibly viable. We can finish building the destroyers as well. So. Aircraft carrier. Really? No angled deck designs? Can we not get an angled deck design? Like... Can I get an angled flight deck carrier, please? I'd like to get an angled flight deck carrier. At this point, you don't want 3-inch guns. You want single 5-inch mounts. Just to absolutely hammer home the concept that you really don't want to mess with us. 55 aircraft being jet capable. That's fine. Inclined belt, which is fine. Oh, Centaur. Very nice. And again, do we have any spare tonnage? Actually, if we drop the number down to 50 aircraft... We're carrying SAMs already. We'll have a single SAM aft as well. And then, of course, we can't carry any anti-ship-to-ship missiles, which is sad. But we can probably carry a SAM... Oh, no, we can't carry any more SAMs. But that's okay. Let me just check if that's okay. Turret J. Oh! You should not have that many guns. Hydra, the carrier Hydra. And you can have deck edge lifts as well, and still carry 54 aircraft. There we go. Oh, hang on. Yeah, we could drop away some of the lighter AA guns. That'll do. Marvellous. So that's a new... That's the new class of carrier we're building. Capable of carrying our new jet aircraft. All very nice. No, thank you, Britain. I am okay. Hey! Reduced engine horsepower requirements. ASW helicopters. Very nice. And again, the US really wants a scrap. I don't want to fight them. Even though they, for some reason, really want to fight me. She's an older ship. She's the oldest ship they have. But she's more powerful than anything else in the fleet, but she's slower. If they want to sell me something that goes 30 knots, then I'll accept it. But otherwise, no. Nope, these rust buckets are no match for our navy. Spain is pathetic compared to the Dutch fleet. I think we have the budget to lay down a single Hydra now. And the money to build it will be freed up by the destroyers as they leave the slipway. Handle it discreetly and quietly. We do not want to antagonize the French now that they're at war with the, now that they're allied to the British again. Ah, good. Our new jet attack aircraft is ready for service just prior to our new heavy aircraft carriers entering the fleet. No thank you, Japan. I do not need the extra... Excellent. Heavy jet fighters. Very, very nice. That is what we need. Maybe charities can institute some kind of relief for the poor. Yes. Let me see about a new... Because can our light jet fighters carry missiles? No. Let's see about getting ones that can. If I can actually get that proposal done, I can replace all of the older aircraft... A lot of the older aircraft on their older aircraft carriers with light jet fighters. So we'll send some of our oldest ships. There we go. So we're about to commission Van Ghent into the fleet. No, she's got too few aircraft for me to consider buying her. Again, we divert attention to Spain. Bully the Spanish, or... Well, either bully the Spanish or bully the Chinese. So the thing I want to do now is, while I've got a bit of money lying around in between the... is we want to add... heavy SAMs. To these ships. On the aft centerline superimposed over their rear turrets. And for this, they will decrease their torpedo tubes to... that. In fact, actually, I might just land the rear superimposed mount, so the rear mount. Oh, good lord, actually, how much does that actually weigh? Oh my god, that weighs a ton. So yeah, maybe that's not the best idea. But... adding medium SAMs... firing over... Adding 2 SAM mounts. Actually, no, I can probably just get a rear SAM mount. And if we land most of the torpedoes... No, we probably need a new class of cruiser to actually carry these new weapons. A proper full-on missile cruiser. What on earth is that? Wait, are those turreted mounts? They are. 6-inch guns. Actually, can we land the aft turret? Because what I want is a heavy SAM battery aft. And then a medium SAM sight firing over it. Basically down to the fact that these are to be AA cruisers, basically. Their whole role is to be the guardians of a task group. They'll carry auto-loading 8-inch guns. She's a heavy cruiser. Oh. 2 inches belt armor. 1 second. There we go, with an inclined belt. Carrying at least some torpedo protection. Actually, no, drop a bit of torpedo protection. Make it 12,000 tons. And then get me 2 single... Get 2 5-inch guns as secondaries. Gentlemen, this is a new type of capital ship. What you're looking at here is the first missile cruiser. She's incredibly powerful for her size, and can probably go toe-to-toe with any other ship in the world. The Van Gents will be probably the last generation of full-on capital ships that we build. Again, we need to lay down the Hydra, which is basically the ship. These 2 ships are going to be the jet carriers, the pride of the fleet. Let's see what the other nations are building. There's the Blankensee class carriers that the Germans have built, but they're small. They can't carry heavy jet aircraft. There's the von der Tanns, which probably can. And the Germans are building their first supercarrier, the Hakenrode. The French finished the last of their Magnanimity-class battle cruisers recently, 2 years ago, and are building heavy cruisers now. But they're all still a generation behind. The Russians have finished the Dzerzhinsky class, because we saw her before. They've got the Vladivostok's building. Again, French carriers. They've got 2 Berns, which are old. And some Commandant Testes that are newer. And they're building some newer carriers still. The Russians have the Leningrad class, which are very large, capable carriers. But not much else besides. The US has a series of modern capital ships, which hopefully we won't encounter, and a few carriers, including up to the 50,000-ton Hancock class, and a bunch of light carriers as well. Japan has retained some capital units, but is actually fairly weak. Their most powerful unit being the Dreadnought Yashima. They've actually gone quite heavily into the carrier race. China has mostly cruisers, including some more powerful ones, but has now actually commissioned its first 3 carriers. These aircraft can't operate heavy jet fighters, which is what our carriers are designed to do. But they do at least mean that when we fight the Chinese, we have to consider their air arm. Excuse me. Nope. No. We tried to explain that the quote was taken out of context. Thank you. Please, dear leader, do not start wars with people we can't fight. Yes, insightful comments could surely improve the design. Nope. Not pissing off the US. Allows the building of missile-equipped light cruisers without armor. Of course, our first missile cruisers will actually be... Wow, these missile cruisers cost more than our other carriers do. But it's worth it for the capability they give to any strike force. We're talking about a ridiculous amount of firepower being available. Also, more perfect carrier escorts you could not have. That does not fit in with the requirements we need. Yes, I'll let China buy some naval patrol aircraft. It will not really avail them much when we come to kill them. If they don't buy it from us, they buy it from somebody else, and at least we know what they're... let's not raise tensions over a trivial matter. Excellent, our light jet fighters still, despite everything, cannot carry missiles. So we have to stick with piston-engined aircraft on some of our older carriers, because they can carry missiles, and keep our light jet fighters around for defense of the fleet. Have the CAD cashiered. No one's let the blow off steam in my navy. Excellent. With the arrival of the new Van Ghent class, the Tsukuba can now be sold off, which he bought from Japan. It's not needed. The Van Ghents are leagues more capable than the ships that came before. They're faster, more heavily armed. They're less well protected, but this is the age of the missile. Their protection is mainly from splinters and smaller ships if they're getting close. The guns are there to finish off a damaged opponent that their missiles have hit and destroyed. We'll call an international peace conference. Well, at least we managed to get the... Okay, the Americans have finally backed off a bit. There we go. We're now going to build more of these new missile cruisers. Gesundheit. Thank you, Raptorat. I don't think anyone else has actually got to the missile cruiser as a concept yet. Excuse me 1 second. There we go. Just had to check something real quick. There we are. So yeah, our new destroyers, and with the new destroyers in the fleet, I'm sorry, but the last of the 900 tonners can go. The 7,500 tonners can also go into the reserve fleet now. Oh no, they can't because they're serving out in Southeast Asia. That's fine. And so the Amersfoort's ready for the war with China that I hope is coming. Nagas, the two Nagas are out there. Africa's still at home. Van Ghent and Beckhardt are working up. Although with 32,000 tons, I can probably get a capital ship that's even more powerful than these two are. Or at least create a version of these two that's at least armoured against their own guns. With a limited immunity zone at least. Although, that being said... what about a version of these ships that lands the midships turret and adds a heavy surface-to-air missile battery where it was? Heck, why not have two of them? Just absolutely hammer home the amount of anti-air firepower we have. Just... then go up to quads to try and keep the gun caliber about the same. There we go. Remove all the armor on the secondaries because that's not required. caliber up to 5, guns per turret down to 1. I only need 4 of them. And we do not need that many. Actually, we really don't need 3-inch guns at all, to be fair. And 32 knots is fine. There we go. That actually gives us a fairly decent immunity zone against the ship's own guns, while giving it an insane amount of throw weight in missiles and a very good ability to defend whatever task group it's part of. And this will be the Floris class battlecruiser. Oh, yes, of course. Spacious crew quarters. We can get away with that. Oh, hang on. Let me just very quickly fix that. There we go. And we'll just drop some of the missile tubes down a bit. There we are. Oh, topside equipment has been exceeded. Well, that's no good. We can't have that. There we go, the Floris class battlecruiser. It's incredibly expensive, but it's still a decent design. And the Van Gents are guided missile battlecruisers as well, with the guns being secondary to their primary role. We do like a smaller number of more capable ships, and then we complain how expensive they are, which results in taking longer to replace. True. Thing is, the Great Reset to missiles has actually put us in a really good position. We're actually back among the world's premier navies, though the US, Japan, and Germany being really massively ahead of us in terms of carriers, cruisers, etc. The Americans are starting to build missile cruisers, but they're still having a great deal of recourse to guns. The Russians, again, are still sticking to large gun cruisers. Again, we're the only ones, because of the unique position that our yards are in, we're one of the only ones turning away from missiles early. They're away from guns early towards an all-missile cruiser. Like the one we're building here. There we go. Oh, miniaturized fire control. Missile submarines, very nice. Okay, let me halt construction on one of these missile cruisers. We want to at least get one of them into the fleet. Build a highway system. Well, even more of a highway system than we have, but extend it into the colonies so that they know how much we value them as people. Take this to an international court in The Hague. I am not issuing an ultimatum to the United States. No, not doing it. Actually, let me just do a quick thing. So you two will steam out to Southeast Asia, as we prepare for the war against China. But I actually have something I want to do. I'm going to land, so we're going to remove the aft twin 13-inch turret on these ships. And it'll be replaced with 2 heavy SAM batteries. And a medium SAM battery. The ships will land the majority of their 3-inch guns. Their 4-inch guns will become auto-loading. They'll get the enhanced radars they need to operate those missiles. There we go, that's basically the main thing we need to do. And of course we'll increase the quality of the crew accommodations aboard. Yes, I do want to rebuild this ship. It'll be fairly costly, but not stupidly so, and we can afford it within the budget. And it gives our capital ships the ability to lob missiles at insane range at incoming air attacks, which is what we want. Macedonia, that is not a good idea. Improved jet bombers. Medium jet bombers can carry 2 missiles. Wow, what a shocking revelation. The world economy recovered after the crisis? I wasn't aware there was a crisis. I do wish the Chinese will let us fight them. Effective camouflage schemes. Very nice. Yes, I do want a modern naval patrol aircraft. Range and bomb load are what we want. It's all very good. Well, there we go. This is... We still have some piston-engined aircraft rocking around. Ah, new jet fight. The new light jets are available. It's all well and good. Oh, that's really not that impressive. That's really not that impressive either. Oh, oblique improved oblique penetration. Ah, I see. Improves capital effectiveness and reduces report delay. That's all very good stuff. That's all very, very good stuff. And this is fantastic because the new missile cruisers are going to enter the fleet at roughly the same time as the new carriers. Oh, now we have to return all of the fleet back to Europe because the leader is afraid of the threat from France. There isn't a real threat from France. Chances of us going to war with France are slim to none. And if we did, I would actually really like to rap on the head the idiot who made it happen. So again, same thing here. Land the aft turret. Although given the lack of displacement we have to work with, she will only get a single medium SAM launcher. Because the rest of the tonnage has to go into... hang on. The improved radar tech she needs to actually make use of it. I suppose we can fit her with a helipad. There we go. We can delete them out. This means she can now carry helicopters. Very good indeed. Again, same thing. Oh, she has 3-inch autoloaders. She can keep them, but she can get autoloaders for her 8-inch guns. And there we go. Remove all of most of the light AA. There we go. Fantastic. Oh yeah, sorry. Spacious crew quarters. There we go. Jolly good. And so Tromp is now ready to go in for a slightly different rebuild to the one her half-sister had. But again, it'll bring both ships in line with the... Well, the Van Gents don't have the AA missile fit yet. But they will. Soon. No thank you, Japan. I'm alright. I really don't need that. The Germans are still fielding dive bombers. That's... well, it's fodder for the... Dear United States, who asked? Well said, Montana. Well said. Hey! Prestige improves. Marvellous. Fantastic. Got the rebuilds coming online. Obviously, once they're out of the dry dock, we can actually afford to continue building the 4th missile cruiser, which is very nice. We should not buy what we can develop for ourselves. Gas turbine engines. Oh, very nice. That means I can build something incredibly power dense. In fact, actually, can I build a... Okay, yeah, that is... Okay. What's she armed with? Medium SAMs. And auto-loading 6-inch guns, which we can make dual purpose. Gas turbines are incredibly power dense, so she can use them. Do we bring the cost down a bit? Wow, we could actually get that ship on 9,000 tons. That is an incredibly brilliant idea. I love that. Almost have 10,000 tons to operate heavy SAMs. She's not carrying heavy SAMs, so she shouldn't be. Ah, that's why she's got a heavy SAM aft. Well, we'll replace that with a medium SAM. And it'll reduce some weight. There we go. Number of medium SAMs exceeds effective fire control, or we can easily fix that. There we go. We can land the AA, and we can drop. We can go to single turrets, 2 guns, 5-inch mounts. That buys us a little bit of extra room, and dual turrets will probably be handier for AA work. And I can even and it means I can shrink the ship down yet further. I should probably go for 4-inch guns. There we go. Yeah, I consider this ship to be more of an AA cruiser anyway. We can probably land the aft centerline oh, no, not you. Okay, so land the aft centerline superimposed, and then I will add a double turret just so we have a rear firing arc for the 6-inch guns. And I can get that ship for 7,500 tons. That's insane. Oh no, I can't because I don't have enough. Perfect. And I may as well increase the speed regimen if... what's the fastest she can go? 37 knots. With reliable engines. And she may at least have a basic splinter belt then. Well, we've got a new generation of anti-aircraft cruiser. Dual-purpose 6-inch guns. And medium SAMs. It's not an all-purpose missile cruiser like the Atges, but it's still decidedly better than the other ships. So we finished the pair of new large carriers, which is very, very nice. The Russians and the British are knocking 7 bells out of each other, which is fine. Yes. Auto add aircraft. It should just be, yep. Light jet fighters, 3 jet attack squadrons, and heavy jet fighters. That is exactly what she should have. Yep, exactly. Once the Atja herself is finished... no thank you, I don't want another one of those. I will not... actually, I will build you 6 new destroyers. If you want, sir. Oh, excellent. New maritime patrol aircraft that can go even further. Very nice indeed. Not right now. Destroyers. Ooh, twin arm launchers. Do we have twin arms? Oh, we do not. We do not have towed sonar. That is sad. We do not have towed sonar. But we can have single arm launchers and a helipad. And make it capable of carrying 2 helicopters. Actually, but 5,000 tons for a destroyer is fine. If I make it gas turbine, I can shrink her down to 4,000 tons. 32 knots should be fine. I can probably also get away with a pair of single tube anti-ship missile launchers, just to give it some sort of bite. And, you know, Perfect. The Rotterdam-class destroyer. And I would rather have a single 5-inch dual-purpose mount forwards. Would you look at that, lads? Our first proper modern Cold War destroyer. How amazing is that? That's insane. Actual modern Cold War era destroyers. 7 more destroyers? Well, we're going to get 7 more destroyers. We will be reasonable. We won't agree to anything binding. Excellent. Solemn declarations, but nothing binding. Marvellous. That's what we wanted. Send a gunboat to the African colony to evacuate our nationals. No, thank you. I do not need the Rotterdam right now. Wait, what? She shouldn't be a light cruiser. She's supposed to be a destroyer. Okay, fine. We will build the older destroyers because, well, they're there. And we can actually build them without breaking the bank. Nope. Any charities can do some things with the poor. The charities can do some things with the poor. We're about to commission Sphinx, which is our second jet-capable carrier. Excellent. Sphinx is in the Navy. Very nice. Now I want to start a limited build. Actually, so yeah, you two are nearly done. The first pair of missile cruisers that we're going to operate. The first one's already in the fleet. She costs nearly as much to run as our pair of battle cruisers do. If you can believe that. Yes. Auto-add aircraft. Her aircraft are being added to her as we speak. This is all well and good. We've got now a decent-sized carrier. I know you want to be busy. I totally get it. Like, trust me, I aim to keep you very busy indeed. So we've got the Borneo has come into the fleet. So we will build a... I was going to build some of the Wilhelmstad class light cruisers. But what I will do instead is I'm going to start building Rotterdam class light cruisers, quote unquote. They're basically just modern destroyers the game doesn't quite know how to deal with yet. No thank you. 3,800 tons displacement. Very, very interesting indeed. Join an international squadron sent to condemn the violence. And on the commissioning of 2 of our missile cruisers, which are the first missile cruisers in the world, I believe, to have missiles as their primary armament and guns as their secondaries, I believe we will leave that here. The various navies of the world have constructed some very interesting last-generation capital ships. And as far as I can tell, none of them have really fully embraced the concept of a missile cruiser. The Germans have built something quasi-like it, but nothing really close to what I've created. The French, again, they've done some of their last generations of capital ships. And they're building something like a missile cruiser, but it's not quite the same. The Russians are still committed to capital ship construction. Still building some of their final battle cruisers. In terms of missile cruisers, they actually have committed, like me, to the concept of a heavy missile cruiser and a light missile cruiser. So the Russians have actually committed, like me. The US still has the Florida, which I believe is still the largest battleship in the world. And they're rebuilding the Georges with missiles, which wouldn't surprise me. Again, I'm looking for missile cruisers, as in real missile cruisers, and it doesn't look like the Americans have invested in them. They've instead gone for quasi-destroyers, like I was building. And again, no angled deck carriers to be seen yet, but I reckon that's what the control class will be. Japan, again, no change in capital ships really, though they are building a pair of new battle cruisers. One new heavy cruiser, but again, it's still a traditional heavy cruiser with missiles as a secondary. Just keeping an eye out for Japanese missile cruisers. They've got basically a very light missile cruiser, which kind of makes sense. Then they went back to the traditional cruiser for a bit. Then they really did lean into the missile cruiser program in a big way. The Japanese have a set of very large carriers in service. The Chinese still have a bunch of their older cruisers lying around, and their AA cruisers are all they really have. No new carriers, a bunch of new destroyers, which is not really surprising. The Spanish, again, same thing. They're still wedded to the idea of the gun cruiser. They have invested in light missile cruisers, and they do have a pair of large carriers now. The British, again, I'm seeing some lean towards the missile cruiser, but they do seem to still be wedded to the idea of the gun cruiser mainly. Whereas we have built the most powerful missile cruisers in the world. And I look forward to testing them in action. And on that, thank you very much everyone for coming to the stream tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it. Take care, folks.